everybody, it's your girl Jackie O, aka Lil Pumpkin Pie 05. Today is the second look I am doing using the BH Cosmetics Southern California makeup palettes. The first look you saw me do featured the Malibu palette. Now I'm channeling my inner Hollywood. This look is inspired by some of the colors from the palette, and I thought it would be a better way to make use of one of my best friend's favorite colors, which were purple and gold. My friend Stephanie was, not arguably, she was the biggest Lakers and Kobe Bryant fan. And one of my best friends, Stephanie, lost her life 2 weeks ago. So, which would explain why I really haven't been doing too much YouTube videos. So I thought what better way to celebrate her life and to celebrate one of her biggest passions by doing something featuring her favorite team and her favorite colors. And she lives in me, and this tutorial only illustrates how much she means to me and how beautiful she was. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial, and if you have the BH Hollywood palette, please bust that bad boy out. Let's get started. The look will begin with foundation. This is the Sasha Cosmetics foundation palette that I just recently got, and shades are amazing, so I'm going to be trying it out again today. You're going to see me use a mixture between this shade here and that shade there. I'm kind of somewhere in between the middle of those. I'm using a latex sponge and applying them around my cheekbone area, my upper lip area, into my forehead. Then I'm using a Beauty Blender sponge and my e.l.f. fixing spray. I'm using that to blend all together. And if I need a little bit extra coverage, which I do right there because I have one ugly blemish there, I'm going to apply where needed, but the coverage is quite nice. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my highlight and contour colors. Let us highlight. I'm gonna use this shade, and contour. I'm gonna use the darkest shade. I'm gonna use the other side, the clean side of that sponge that we used earlier, because we don't want the darkness underneath the eyes. And I'm going to start to stamp that in underneath. I'm going to take a little bit of that and apply it just below my brows. And then we're going to contour, and then we're going to contour on the low points of the cheekbone. I'm also going to do it on the perimeter of my face, just a bit of that. And it should all kind of just be one fluid, almost like the shape of a W. A little bit along my jawline. I don't really do too much of that, but today I think I'll do it. So this is where you properly blend. I usually blend the highlight first, and then we do the contour. I'm going to use a more precise brush to clean up the under eye area, that concealer that we used earlier, and I'm also going to do a little bit of stippling with my finger. This is the one I got from it's Urban Decay. Where did I get? I think I got this one with the Naked palette. This nice little brush right here. Yeah, I know it looks a little silly right now, but we're gonna fix that. Okay. Just a little bit of precision, that's all. And then not only do I take my finger and blend it out, but I take a little bit of a natural color on top of it, and I blend it out even more. And I'm also blending it into my eyelids, so we have just something for the shadows to help stick to the primer, if you will. And I'm just going to clean that up just a little bit with my Beauty Blender sponge. Now, because one, I have oily skin, and two, we don't want the under eye concealer to crease, I'm going to use a finishing powder. I'm using the Ben Nye Banana Luxury Visage powder, and I am gently pressing that onto my skin, but this is going all over my face. And that will instantly help blot off some of the shine. And it will also help keep you shine free for a couple hours. And I don't know if you highlight or contour your nose, but today I'm going to be applying some more of that powder down the bridge of my nose and into my forehead, because it makes for some nice trickery when you take photos. It just makes your face appear, just makes your face and your skin appear so much prettier. And if you want cheekbones, dab a bit of that below on that lower jawline area, right below the cheekbones, and you'll really give the illusion of a beautifully sculpted face. Eyeshadow time! Purples are one of those tricky colors. I always have to use a purple base to pick up purple colors. I don't know why purple's the only one like that. Well, I shouldn't say the only one, but it's usually the trickiest to work with. So anyways, I'm gonna use a gold eyeshadow base and a purple. The gold one I'm using is from Ellis Vaz one of my favorite things to use in the eyes. It's so beautifully pigmented. The number that I'm using is E303 and it's a gold eyeshadow stick. This stuff is as liquidy and pigmented as it comes. And then to bring out that purple, I'm going to be using Painted Purple from Maybelline 24 Hour Color Tattoo. So these Maybelline color tattoos are quite nice. The purple one isn't the most pigmented of the bunch, but I do think they get the job done well enough. Right, I'm now blending it out with a blending brush, eyeshadow blending brush. Our eyes are now ready for some shadow. I'm going to start with this gold shadow from the palette. Notice how I'm packing that on and not sleeping. Now that we have our gold in place, let's add some purple. This would not be a purple and gold look without purple, obviously. I'm gonna first start with, I think I'm gonna use a combination. I'm big on mixing colors. Let's use these two. I'm gonna go back and forth between those two. I am packing that color on into my crease. And then of course we've got to blend it out. So I'm using my 222 brush from MAC and I'm blending that out. The great thing about this color combo is, those of you guys that are familiar with the color wheel, yellow and purple are opposite to each other on the color wheel, so they complement each other in the best way. I also wanted to play around with this fuchsia pink here, and around the edges of that purple I am blending that out from inner to outer corner. And I'm also applying some of that along my bottom lash line. I'm also going to dab a bit of that bright pink in between where the gold and the purple meet. I'm now going to use an NYX Jumbo White Pencil and I'm going to line my waterline from inner to outer corner. And then on top of that, I'm going to put some pink on the inner corner, but first some purple on the outer corner on top of that. So these eyeshadows are going in your waterline. Don't do this if you're scared or you have shaky hands or you're timid or you're not like, you're like me and you're not used to wearing shadow. Just don't do it. But I'm just gonna pop that right on top of the liner. And I'm also going to add some on my bottom lash line. And that fuchsia pink is going on the inner corner. And then lastly, I'm gonna add more gold just on the inner corners of my eyes. At this point, it's safe for you to brush off any of that excess finishing powder if you applied it like I did. I'm gonna use my black liquid liner from e.l.f. and I'm going to line the top lash line. I like this stuff because it's super dark and it's pigmented and it gets the job done. And it was only $1. I finished the eyes by using my Benefit They're Real mascara. Let's start with this. Let's use this really soft pink blush here from the palette. And I'm applying just a sheer wash of that on the apples of my cheeks. I'm using a brown lip pencil to line my lips. This is my usual favorite, Cork from MAC. Then I used a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me concealer and I applied it as a lip gloss, as a nude gloss. Just take a bit of that on the center of my lips and then I'm going to use my finger to blot some of that off and then distribute it on my lips from top to bottom. Then I'm going to use a Youngblood lip gloss. The color is Strip. It's actually not a color, it's clear, but it has glitter in it, so it's really pretty. So my lips are a nice cocoa nude. And that concludes the final look. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Mwah. Love you all. Rest in paradise, Stephanie Ramirez.